Thank you so much, Tarun, for joining us on this podcast at Dawdle.live. We've been doing it for the last 2.5 years now, and I've learned so much after talking to so many founders, over 800 now.
Mm-hmm.
एक मेरे को लगता है कि थोड़ा पहले स्टार्ट करता तो ज्यादा सीख जाता बट
Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to be with you, in this podcast.
तरुण दिल्ली क्यों सेलेक्ट किया आपने स्टार्टअप करने मुंबई बैंगलोर क्यों नहीं शिफ्ट हो गया आप
So I'm formerly from Ludhiana, Punjab,
हम्म,
and my family, my maternal side is in Delhi for a
हम्म,
long time.
हम्म,
So Delhi made sense.
हम्म,
Plus, we also talk about Chanakya Neet, right?
हाँ,
It says you should be where the policy makers are, so it's more beneficial.
right. ऐसा भी है क्या लाइक वी कीप ऑन हियरिंग लाइक एंड आई आल्सो हैव ऑब्जर्व पर्सनली लाइक दिल्ली के जो फाउंडर्स हैं ज्यादा स्ट्रीट स्मार्ट हैं एज कंपेयर टू folks who are in Bangalore.
And I
Um,
would not, have any comparison of people living in Delhi or Bangalore, right? It is all on the person's personal experiences which shape up what they do, how they do, right? So probably it's everyone to its own, right? So there's no difference. There is a founder sitting in US doing something brilliant, as well.
नहीं अच्छा है ये तो मतलब लाइक because I had this personal experience कि जैसे when I talk to founders in Bangalore they are very good at explaining you the metrics part
Hmm.
right
I think they've got the art or the skill to
हाँ
actually
yes
is.
but आप जैसी दिल्ली या मुंबई वाले फाउंडर से बात करते हैं ना दे आर वेरी गुड एट अंडरस्टैंडिंग द बिजनेस पार्ट बेसिकली कि यार
Hmm.
ग्राउंड पे बिजनेस कैसे हो रहा है
Hmm.
तो सेम चीज मैंने अहमदाबाद में भी देखी है तरुण जैसे कि ज्यादा उनको पता नहीं मतलब वो तो समझ है ही कि कैश इन कैश आउट वाला कंसेप्ट बट
Hmm.
दे आर वेरी गुड एट आइडेंटिफाइंग छोटा छोटा प्रॉब्लम्स ऑन ग्राउंड
Hmm.
यार इसको बेच के पैसा बनता है
Hmm.
डू यू ऑल्सो फील दैट कि बिकॉज व्हेन दिस एंटायर कंसेप्ट ऑफ वेंचर कैपिटल एंड ऑल दैट स्टार्टेड आज से 20 साल पहले योर फादर्स टाइम माय फादर्स टाइम तो ऐसा कुछ कंसेप्ट था नहीं
Hmm.
सब अपना डेट पे पैसा लेते थे लोग प्लांट लगाते थे और फिर उससे अपना कैश फ्लो मेंटेन करते थे या
Bilkul, I think, yeah, matlab, personally, I've been blessed. My father raised from the IPO market in 1985.
सुपर
Right?
सुपर
So I have those, entrepreneurship genes in me. So, like, अब वो experience उनका था. Debt, obviously, people do take a lot of debt.
या
Now, venture cap being primarily active, in the IT capitals like Bangalore, Hyderabad, and now even some part of Ahmedabad is taking over. So people are becoming smart how to present to them. So the way they speak probably is driven out of experiences from, the founders they meet, who they talk to, what sort of experience again comes back to what they've done in the course of their experience, in their life.
बट आई होप बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग शुड रिमेन दैट बिकॉज
Correct. So see, once you are, I feel, put into situations, then you understand, what could be a bigger issue at the, to be solved for any sort of industry, right?
Great. Tarun, you had a prolific, kind of a background even before Teleforce, like आपने जब start किया इसको. Could you tell us a bit about where did you come from? लुधियाना से start करेंगे अगर
Ji.
और कैसे आप Teleforce तक पहुंचे? What led you to, establish this?
See, I've been born and brought up in Ludhiana, right? So my father has a paper mill. He used to operate it out of Ludhiana. We were the first few paper mills of Punjab, right? So I studied after that. I went to Lawrence School, Sanar, did my high school there. Post Lawrence School, Sanar, I went to University of Leeds.
Hmm,
I did my undergrad, BBA. I understood, the real time experience is what, the colleges are teaching you. So
hmm,
better to come into work and
hmm,
understand, various sectors. I
hmm,
was also blessed with a, good family background.
yes.
Thanks to God,
Hmm,
I was given a lot of opportunities
mm,
So I got to start with a distillery where I
mm,
was interning in Uttar Pradesh, right? So
mm,
I was looking at alcohol production, how it works,
mm,
how the sector is actually.
mm,
Then over the time, I went into real estate, right? I
mm,
was the chief operating officer for Wave Infratech, right? One of
mm,
the leading construction companies in New Delhi, NCR region, right?
mm,
So got to lead a couple of projects there, and then there was some mishap in the family. I had to take over
mm,
one of my relatives' business for some time. I was operationally heading that business. I
yeah,
was working. I was running a sugar mill, a brewery, a distillery, all together.
mm,
Right. So after understanding, just such landscapes, in all industries, what
mm,
sort of problems, we face once we set up any industry, it all boils down to sales,
mm,
right? Everybody is basically focused on getting revenue,
right.
right? And they are using all the means possible to deliver.
Mm, mm,
You're talking about industrial distribution channels, you're talking about, even
mm,
from a smallest, say, a sugar brand or a
mm,
beer brand, you end up branding, you end up advertising, right? So it intrigued me, right? During the course, I also implemented SAP software, right? So I
mm,
understood how SAP actually, sells licenses, how
mm,
much money goes into the implementation agencies, and
mm,
what pain point it is solving for the industries.
yeah,
Right, then I bought over a advertising company dealing into government sector, right?
right.
So we are impaneled with the national government, advertising campaigns were running, ATL, PTL.
Yes.
Digital was just taking off. This is in 2018 now when, I took a helm of an ad company.
Mm,
Then I understood I wanted to re-engineer the company on day one. The
mm,
processes don't get handed over to you very easily, right? You get to learn into a new industry. This was the only thing I hadn't done.
mm,
When I started reading and understanding about how Google and Facebook are advertising, right? They're going into cognitive studies of human behavior, right? How they react to
mm,
certain content, how they engage, how you are, persuading them to
yes.
buy, right? So I ended up reading a couple of books by Robert Cardellini and it's
Yes.
called The Influence.
Mm,
And there is one more book, The Hidden Persuaders, which
yes.
tells you about the psychology of selling, right? That
Mm,
how the advertisers are actually able to persuade humans into taking actions they don't desire, right?
yes.
So started reading, found it very interesting. So took over, understood how could I possibly solve this digitally,
Mm,
right? So we started building out. Then
mm,
we ended up, first venture, digital venture. What we did was
mm,
to sign up a contract with a CDP company in the US,
mm,
right? So we started with them,
mm,
their product. So we signed up the agreement, everything was good, understood how CDP works, how customer data would be. Understanding the Indian landscape, people didn't have the data to put into it, right? They were not optimized on the data foundation layer
mm,
on, putting it into the CDP.
mm,
So then we took a little bit of a back step, rethought the process that how we could actually solve this for anybody, right?
mm,
So if an enterprise is facing an issue today to
mm,
collect all their siloed data, right?
yes.
How we are able to solve it with the tech stack, not only for an enterprise but at companies at scale. It is a problem for everyone. Right, advertising again also had a very big issue, ATL and PTL, for attribution, right? There are
Yes.
companies like Nielsen and
Yes.
others who are driving out the marketing mix models for you, making you understand what is the marginal ROAS people are able to achieve, right?
Yes. Mm,
Understood those studies, took a few research studies ourselves, right, to understand what sort of market fit uh, or the product fit is missing in the market. And then we started designing Teleforce, right? Once we took over 2018, I think mid 2018 is when we started hiring a team to start developing Teleforce as a platform. We did well. We went into programmatic advertising to start with, right?
mm,
We got some channel permissions from Facebook. I think by the end of 2019, COVID hit us.
Hmm.
Right, as soon as COVID came, yes. So then it was all about communication. It was all about
Hmm.
telecom. It was already a part of our product which we had planned, to be fulfilled. Then we took a pivot to building out a communication telecom layer, right?
Huh.
So we built out the telecom layer first. It was
Hmm.
very fast, right? We were getting into the RTV development at the moment, a
Hmm.
real-time bidding platform of our own. So we had to
Hmm.
drop it. We went into telecom building. We got a VNO license for telecom. As
Hmm.
soon as the COVID, lockdown ended, we
Hmm.
started selling telecom. It was hotcake, right? It was like the get in the door tool, right? When you start telecom, so people really wanted to optimize their communication. Everybody, was shifting from, and see, the market was for digital for around 15% on the
Hmm.
advertisement expenditure, which now is at 65%, right? So that's the amount of leap these last 8 years has been on the digital industry. People have moved to smart advertising, they have moved to attribution, they talk
Yeah.
about ROI, right, on any campaign. They become smarter, right? The more data they are building, the smarter they are getting. So that's how the journey started. That's how we then reached into Teleforce. That's where we are now, right? Built out the product to address these issues.
This is pretty interesting because your father was into paper mills,
Correct. My elder
and
brother still is.
1995 he also did an IPO,
Yeah,
and then the son decided that नहीं यार मेरे को तो ये orthodox industry में नहीं रहना. I want to get into something which is new age.
correct. See, I've been into a lot of industries, habitual industries, like,
Hmm.
alcohol is a pure habitual industry,
Hmm.
and sugar is a more farmer-oriented industry.
Hmm.
Paper, again, if you're doing agriculture-based paper, is again a farmer-based industry. But if I was, my father was into recycling-based paper, right? So
Yes.
he's doing
Hmm.
paper-to-paper recycling, one of the first paper mills of Punjab.
Huh.
Yeah, so when I went into that business, I was dealing with rag pickers. You could say, because they were our raw materials.
पैसा है sir.
Yeah, but I thought I've come back from England. It's not the sort of procurement team or people I want to be associated with. I've done something, I can do more, right? So
Yes.
business is stable. I have an elder brother taking care of it. So I
Hmm.
thought I should venture out into something good. So went into taking on experience of various industries.
Yeah. Uh, Tarun, I was talking to one very gem of a person. He belongs to, again, I think Ludhiana will be considered to be a tier one city
Yeah.
after metros, because it's quite a big city and you see a lot of entrepreneurs coming from there.
Hmm.
Similarly, I was talking to one person who is based out in Raipur in
Right.
Chhattisgarh,
Hmm.
and this guy told me that he started with leather business. So leather means nobody used to touch it. Like whenever an animal will die or something, he will go collect the leather, will sell it to the market. That's like 40 years back. Now that company is worth 16,000 crores, and
Correct.
they have gone into contract poultry farming. They have empowered a lot of farmers,
Hmm.
aquaculture and all those things, pet feeds and all those
Right.
things. So when I was
Hmm.
hearing to him, I was thinking like, man, he has got so much patience. Like 40 साल तक उसको धीरे 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 करके वो 16,000 करोड़ की कंपनी बना दी उन्होंने. डू
Correct.
यू थिंक अभी वाला जो जनरेशन ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योर्स है तरुण, उनको उतना पेशेंस नहीं है जितना आपके पापा को था?
I think, yeah, तो अभी आप थोड़ा सा कंजम्पशन पैटर्न्स के बारे में थोड़ा समझना चाहेंगे, हाउ क्विक कॉमर्स इज टेकिंग ओवर
हम्म.
योर नॉर्मल रिटेल.
हम्म.
So people's fulfillment is more like immediate, right?
हम्म.
So they want everything right now. It was like
या.
yesterday, right?
हम्म. हम्म.
So the patience level has obviously come down.
हम्म.
So have the anxiety levels have risen, right? So
हम्म.
पहले इतना media consumption नहीं था. Networks like Facebook, Instagram were not there, which could hook you up to their channels, right? Who have a specific, algorithm working you to get you back.
Yes.
तो वो सारी चीजें आजकल लोगों के माइंड्स दे बीन प्लेड विद.
Hmm.
so much of dopamine is going into it.
Yeah.
So the whole, aspect, aspiration, and, the fulfillment,
Hmm.
it's all changed.
Yeah.
तो वो बहुत जल्दी लोग चीज़ करके या तो गिव अप कर देते हैं या मतलब
वही 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 वही
मतलब उसको प्रॉपर फॉलो नहीं करते हैं।
बट बेसिक्स तो सेम ही है ना, तो मतलब अगर आप तो मतलब आप तो बिजनेस फैमिली से आते हैं, आपने मतलब इफ यू आर द लास्ट मैन स्टैंडिंग तो जीत तो हो जाती है।
अब लास्ट मैन स्टैंडिंग वाली थ्योरीज आजकल नहीं चलती है, राइट? सो अब मतलब वो इफ यू आर फाइटिंग फॉलन बैटल, राइट, सो दैट वोंट वर्क। I would
हम्म,
say today's things have changed, especially with the VCs coming in. You are
हाँ,
able to raise quick capital. You are able to expand quickly.
हम्म,
Those risks banks you do not take.
हाँ,
Those VCs are willing to put in if there is a uniqueness, in your product.
हम्म,
So, building it out versus, uh, getting capital again is again a chapter we could discuss, going ahead. But with the
yes,
right sort of partner, who can also invest and help you grow, right?
yes,
So the whole dynamics of the industry have changed. I think you were talking about 1990 or in 1992 when the first VC in India had, ever
yes,
come in, right?
yes,
So time से शुरू हुआ है।
हम्म,
आजकल आप देख ही रहे हैं, every quarter we are talking about a 20-30 billion spent
yes,
into the Indian startups.
हम्म। तो यूनिकनेस से अब हम आते हैं कि टेलीफोर्स में व्हाट इज द यूनिक थिंग।
See, what we have done is we've built out everything an organization uses, right? So from all their communication types, there would be today, we have all of them as a foundation data layer, right? So all of it going real time into the real, database where you are getting everything together, where you can build out actionable intelligence, right? Today we take, say, a bigger company who's advertising, say, 5 crore, 10 crore media spend. Even they ask their agency for, their reports, the agency comes back in another 2 or 3 days, right? Just filling out the reports and giving that what happened on the spend.
Yes,
So, so that's the time to decision is what we're trying to beat, right? And what
yes,
we're trying to automate on, any sort of revenue operations happening to build the revenue as well, right? On top of it, I understood algorithms, how they work.
हाँ,
And then we have RL happening, reinforcement learning on the basis of revenue achieved. So the more data which we are building, the smarter the AI systems are getting, the smarter the algorithms get. So the more 0-day start models we are able to build.
yeah, and that is the reason why you call it to be a revenue operating system, because your goal is to optimize the revenue,
Correct.
and this is the entire operating system for that. Unlike what other companies, I'm not going to name them, they focus more on automating the processes, streamlining it, but in your case the focus is on the revenue part,
Hmm.
and then creating an operating system for that. Please correct me.
Correct. So yes, our whole system is designed to optimize only on revenue, right?
Yeah,
So the whole system of record behind it is, made by us, driven by us in real time so that there is no silos or loops, right,
yeah,
which miss out on the right optimization for a journey, right?
yeah,
So once we go in into any organization, we are able to, plug in
hmm,
all the gaps which there currently are or
hmm,
what their, biggest issues have been, to date on, building a revenue operating system for them.
right. So what do you think is fundamentally broken in the today's enterprise tech stack?
Right. So, see, most enterprise software was designed around departments. Right. CRM belongs to sales, marketing automation belongs to marketing,
Hmm,
support owns ticketing, finance owns billing,
hmm,
operations owns fulfillment. So
hmm,
every department optimizes its own KPI. Right. So the customer experience, journeys are fragmented. Right.
yeah,
So the modern customer doesn't care about, organizational charts. They
yeah,
expect every interaction to feel like one continuous conversation, right? So today's enterprise stack isn't customer centric. It's department centric. That's why, businesses struggle despite spending crores on softwares, right? That's
Yeah.
what I would have to say.
But Salesforce का भी तो है ना, काफी enterprise level, architecture है उनका
Yeah,
across
they're
it.
excellent platforms. Salesforce, then there's HubSpot, Zoho, right?
Hmm.
There are very excellent platforms for managing customer records, right?
Huh.
But managing records isn't the same as managing revenue,
Hmm.
right? I would say a CRM, stores the history. A revenue operating system predicts and, influences the next best action, right?
Right.
Like suppose a customer abandons a cart, opens an email,
Hmm.
calls, a support center, visits a website again,
Hmm.
clicks a meta advertising, a CRM records those events. So Teleforce understands the sequence,
Right.
predicts buying intent,
Hmm.
automatically decides what should happen next. Should
Hmm.
AI call them? Should pricing change? Should marketing stop spending? You know,
Yes.
should the sales manager intervene? Right. The difference isn't data storage; it's autonomous decision making. Right. That's what would drive any organization's revenue.
Got it. But I was hearing that, even Salesforce is going to come out with, has already come out with a feature which uses AI to, kind of predict things, the next steps as well. So,
Correct. So yeah, I feel what they're trying to do, they've got something like an agent force coming in.
yes, yes, yes.
Right? Their stock prices are down today because
Hmm.
I feel Claude may end up buying them. Right. So it is all driven. I feel Claude will do this what we are trying to do anyways. Right. It is
Yes.
going to be going into the revenue part. So
Hmm.
that's the end goal, right? So people were optimizing for certain KPIs before. Now the full optimization will come into revenue.
Right. Now let's cover the customer journey now. So let's suppose there's a company which has become the customer of Teleforce today.
Mm.
What basically changes from day one to day 30?
See, I would say once a customer is onboarded today, right? So the 30-day journey will be understanding their current pain points, first of all, replacing their customer touch points, understanding what sort of communications they are into, you know, then understanding their whole customer database, where they belong, what they do, how are they, responding to what sort of advertisements are
Right.
running on the platform, right? What is their journey on closure, right? So we integrate you completely end to end in
Hmm.
terms where we jack up all your communication, we do all your marketing creatives,
Hmm.
right? We understand the persuasion levels, your business works with a certain audience set, right? And we start driving you out towards building out your right sort of leads, and then AI happening, understanding and closing. By the month end, I feel you have certain level of understanding in the system
Hmm.
where 1 month of sale would give us certain optimization on the algorithms we use on the back end, to
Hmm.
drive revenue. Right? So, and it is at least a 90-day optimization journey where we actually define what sort of ad lift we are able to give you, right, during the course, which we guarantee around 30 to 60% on
Hmm.
the same revenue you're already spending, right? So you would end up having an additional ROAS of
Hmm.
30 to 60%, right,
Hmm.
by 90-day mark.
Right. And I was also going through the website. So you have built everything in-house. So why did you do that instead of integrating the tools which are already in the market?
See, an integration journey would have been, also a very fast approach to do it. But
Yeah.
for us, I come in from an industrial engineering background,
Hmm.
right? For me, I really wanted to engineer the whole stack. It is the new age of, so the similar explanation I would give, like for legacy companies, those stacks were built for, a system of record,
Hmm.
right? Today's date, we guys are built for a AI enabled revenue operating system. So we had to engineer the whole platform, right?
Hmm.
So that AI is a native part of that
Yes.
platform, not AI as an additional part to that platform, right?
Hmm.
So probably all those industries would be going into rebuild very soon,
Hmm.
right? Because the amount of communication or the API calls AI is doing is much more than humans.
Yes.
So we had to engineer the stack from zero. So we went into building out the whole stack. Gives us more control, more understanding of each technology, how it's moving, right?
Yeah.
Where we can move it. And it's brilliant. Today, building out telecom has given such a big edge to get
Yes.
voice AI enabled natively, right? So we also gone out to build our own AI foundry, right? Where we are taking all the data set within the system of record,
Huh.
pushing in that recording of your real human customer and agent to
Huh.
be actually trained for your own AI models, right? With the seamless experience. So you don't have to upload. The recordings happen in a stereo format, right?
Yes.
So you're able to drive both channels separately.
Yes.
It is basically engineering which drove us to it.
And what is this fusion engine, Taru? Fusion engine.
So see, the fusion engine basically is where we are understanding the real conversation in terms of a tag taxonomy,
Hmm.
right? Where after say a window of a minute, a real-time conversation is actually, there are tags which are generated on that conversation.
Hmm.
Plus, we have another IP where we are actually trying to understand 8 persuasive vectors,
Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Where we have a model which we are also patenting is
Right.
around a persuasion factor understanding. A persuasion vector is fired every 10-second window, which we are compiling, and then we are fusing both the results, right? So there is a weighted tag taxonomy which is driven from your closures, right? Previous closures where we are able to have a certain weight on a certain tag value.
Huh.
Plus, we are also driving a weight of persuasion vectors of that call from the customer side to actually, optimize the conversation in real time state.
Right.
It's very technical.
Yeah, it's kind of, I was kind of thinking because what you are basically doing is that earlier the CRM was a very transactional tool. Like you feed data into it and then it reminds you of something. But यहाँ पे what you have been doing is basically adding the human element to that CRM as well. You मतलब, human element in terms of what would a sales guy would have done if this was the thing.
Yeah, so we actually have human elements as a core part of the stack, right? Plus, we have, say, with the human elements, we are able to drive out the real factors, how, a
Hmm.
real sales closure is happening,
Yeah.
right? How there's a difference between a good salesman and a bad
Yeah.
salesman, right?
Hmm.
Those, how do we get that? Right?
Hmm.
It is the conversations, right? They're able
Yes.
to speak on our telecom system where it is easily understood. The record happens over our CRM, so we know the journey. We understand what they used as a conversation to close that deal, right?
Yes.
We, hyperly work on the back end to generate your tags around it,
Yeah.
featureize those tags, give them a certain weight, and at the stage of the journey. So we are able to have the whole revenue operations working for you on the back end, right? That's
Yes.
our IP.
Yes. So I kind of start thinking is this more valid for which kind of industries? Like, Teleforce will be very useful for what kind of industries?
See, today, our focus is banking, BFSI industry, right? Where
Mm.
that's where the maximum number of people are also employed, or the GMV value of the products which are sold is pretty high. But
Yeah.
you take it across sectors. You
Mm.
talk about people who are advertising digitally to sell.
Huh.
And I would
Yes.
say 90% of the businesses are.
Yes.
So we are all across, right? There is industry specific models which we are working on, from real estate to insurance to,
Mm.
loans to your, even a normal small, say service related job holder, right? So like a AC, HVAC, engineering company, right? So it depends, right? So how we are able to scale, model implementations for any sort of business, right? In the end, the core logic is if we are able to make somebody big tomorrow, they will always stay.
Yes.
Plus, our AI would never be leavable because of the persistent memory layer, right?
Yes.
How much my AI would know about that business.
Mm.
If he leaves my platform, obviously, who's not going to take that?
Yes. Right.
Right. So probably revenue drop.
Mm. But it's going to be a continuous journey now. Like suppose a client comes to you, signs off up with you. There will be a gestation period, like in which, you are kind of expected to give an efficiency better than what they were getting with the previous platform.
Correct. So that's what I said earlier. Right now, I think 90 days is the core time which we would take
Hmm.
for all our algorithms to learn. Right. At least we would expect about 50 to 100 closures happening on our platform because it is all driven on the closures. Right. Closures drive your revenue.
Hmm.
It helps us understand your media mix. Right. We are able to also have a marketing mix model implemented within the platform which
Hmm.
is able to attribute in real time
Hmm.
where the next money should be spent,
Hmm.
right? So we are able to attribute even a spend over WhatsApp or an
Yeah.
SMS or an email,
Hmm.
right? That how much ROAS I could still drive out if I'm using those channels to sell,
Yeah.
right? If I'm having a re-engagement campaign running either even on the digital inventory side, like
Yeah.
which sort of website inventory is giving me the right traffic or ROAS. We are
Hmm.
able to downscale or granularly understand which
Hmm.
channel performs at what level, right? All of this goes into our backend master agent,
Yeah.
which reads all the data and then optimizes in real time.
Yeah. And how tough is the transition, Tarun? Like, for suppose a mid-scale company, which
Mm.
is already using various tools for, if they want to transition to Teleforce,
Mm.
how tough is the transition? Like,
So we handhold them, right? We have a team of engineers who works with them, getting them onboarded.
hmm.
We help them migrate all their data, right? The transition period would not be more than 15 to 20 days, even at an enterprise scale, right? So we do a complete,
Hmm.
say a replica system for you first. We start driving out your data on real-time basis. We immediately change the telecom layer because that's
Hmm.
where we start producing the data first, right? Conversations, or what you would say, the real conversation data is where the whole money game is, right? What people have not been able to attribute.
Right. And how big is the risk? I'm just thinking from a customer's perspective. Let's suppose um,
I would not say there is any risk at all,
hmm.
right? So if you know about linear regression, say as just a first time understanding on first ML topic, I would have read about is linear regression, right?
Yeah.
So an algorithm would predict say 10 different answers,
Huh.
right? As
Hmm.
soon as it knows one, it would calculate the error rate and redo all the other answers. So,
Yes.
it is a linear regression, you can say, on the back end, right? Which is working on just one core logic is revenue, right?
Right.
So, how would there be any risk around an ML algorithm
Hmm.
learning? So, maths happening, mathematically, if you are able to achieve something, I don't feel there is any risk evolved, or a gamble which we are taking, with our platform, right? So it is a science put into place
Hmm.
correctly. I would state it like that, right? So the risk factor I feel is zero,
Yeah.
right?
And can you tell us a couple of success stories? Let's suppose, any client which is very close to you, which you feel.
See, yeah. So I would take one of our own
Yeah.
industries, right? So we do real estate.
Yeah.
We were working to sell luxury apartments, right, to right sort of customer bases.
Hmm.
We are started understanding what our customer base or what our first property buyer profiles are,
Hmm.
right? We got to understand that 50 to 60% of our first property buyers are investors or resellers. right?
Mm.
So we had a great understanding. So we launched a marketing advertisement campaigns, positioned, our communications were sorted,
Mm.
in a very classified manner to target those audience sets.
Mm.
Plus, from the CRM and the CDP, we were able to also drive out targeted ads to a
Mm.
previous buyer already, right?
Mm.
Rishikesh. So we ended up finishing, say, I won't put a number to it,
Mm.
an inventory value in about, say, whatever our targets was. In
Yeah.
about 30 to 35 days, it was gone,
Mm.
right? So, well, what we would take around 6 to 8 months to do
Yeah.
with such a precision optimization,
Mm.
our spend levels were not too high, right? It is just a normal monthly spend which we were actually doing, and our revenue target, which we were supposed to, do in about 6 months, we ended up achieving in 35. So that's say one use case which we ended up solving very quickly, right?
Mm.
And and the value of that project was also pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, so once you are doing a lot of spend, right, with a technology platform like ours, say
Yeah.
any 80% of your business actually comes from your existing customer base,
Right.
right?
Right.
For most of the industries, or people, or customers, or people who are loyal to your brand. It's
Yeah.
just that we don't understand what value of data we already hold. We
Yes.
help organizations understand that. We help them optimize that, right? We help them build revenue around that.
Yes. And Tarun, you did all of it, without external funding till now. And would love to understand from you, like, how difficult was the first 1 crore revenue?
Yeah, the first 1 crore was difficult, right? It is more on, we were understanding the right product market fit,
Mm.
right? What we should have. We were more talking to our customers, and our the use cases we were trying to solve,
Mm.
that what are the actual pain points. It took us about 6 to 8 months to reach our first crore,
Mm.
right? It was a great journey to actually understand
Mm.
the right sort of product market fit, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so the external funding, right? So it was actually when we had, so we were not building out based on the funding,
Yeah.
right? We were actually building out some value which we wanted to drive value from,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's why we ended up building it on our own. So there was no funding ever required till that point. Or even, today also, if we want to go in for funding, or we're looking for funding today, is to
Mm.
get the right human capital, right?
Right. Yes.
I feel as good as the product is, right? If you don't have
Yes.
the right people or the right team,
Yes.
and if you don't reach the market fast,
Mm.
right? People won't wait. There are going to be people who are going to be thinking
Yes.
maybe sometime in the near future around the same subject,
Mm.
right? It is just about who reaches there first, right?
Yeah. Right. ये कंफ्यूजन ना बहुत सारे फाउंडर्स के दिमाग में होता है बिकॉज आई वांट टू काइंड ऑफ टेक योर व्यू ऑन दैट इज दैट यार इतना पैसा है अब इसमें रिसोर्स हायर करने हैं हमको और बहुत सारे फाउंडर्स यहाँ पे गलती कर देते हैं कि वो हायर नहीं करते हैं तो
I think people is what drives revenue,
या
right? The right sort of TV time with the right audience is what you expect to drive
यस
revenue, right? You can't do everything on your own. When you start, yes, you have to, right?
यस
But at a certain point, growth only comes with the right contacts in the industry,
या
right? You have a foot in the door, product segment, catered to for every industry. But where you want to start is the biggest pain point.
यस
I myself, what I would analyze are two, right? In my whole stack is either telecom or advertising, right?
या
So we went out, we built out with the right team, and we saw good success, right? When you are able to speak, and with the experience of various customers on our back, we are able to speak about that industry with confidence today,
यस
right? Because we have done the use cases for them, we have given exceptional ad lift, exceptional revenue lift as soon as we've gone in, right? So I would say 45 to 50-day window is when our system really starts driving out the real revenue for that. At a 90-day benchmark, I'm unbeatable.
ये tagline है basically.
Yeah, I personally, from my experience front, I myself, I didn't do any IT,
हाँ,
but I'm a deep reader of
हम्म,
systems, right? So engineering side, my first experience was when I was engineering steam flow,
हाँ,
right? How
हम्म,
much steam flow I can give to my power plant, and how much should I use in my plant on a big day, right? So you also need to produce power. You also need to
हम्म,
produce your goods, right? How the steam engineering works is where the core, your logical core got ignited for myself. Then I
yes,
started actually reading and understanding about engineering, right?
हाँ,
And similarly, when I came into Teleforce, I really started reading ML, really
हम्म,
started reading how algorithms work, how we could engineer all of this for any common industry or even a small MSME today, is able to, optimize their revenue spent,
हम्म,
right? Our core logic behind the platform being very simple, right?
yes,
Following the, tracks of Facebook and Google.
yeah,
Today, if somebody comes to my platform and is paying me 20 to 30K a month,
yeah,
if he's not getting delivered 1 lakh or 2 lakh in value in terms of revenue, right?
yes,
Then I'm not useful for him, right? And if I am able to deliver that value, he's
yes,
never going to leave me, right?
yes,
It is just how much scale he is able to achieve, how fast, how much risk he is able to put in
hmm,
more on me, right? Is how much growth he would have. And it is not humans now taking decisions,
hmm,
right? That is also it. We are obviously in part to look at the decisions the AI is doing,
yeah,
but it's all corely on the real sort of maths happening for that organization on the ground, right?
right,
So that's where I would say, systems will
hmm,
take over probably everything in the near future. You're all,
hmm,
core logical work where we are paying, say, a researcher or a strategist,
yeah,
So those technical works, which per se were very difficult,
hmm.
is more going to be optimized on AI and machines in the near future, I would say.
So Tarun, kind of will reiterate the metrics for the company till now. So we have got 300 plus enterprise customers, 5 crore revenue, profitable business, 60% plus margin. How did you do it bootstrapped?
Well, so yeah, the same way I'm doing it for my customers, right? So, so we went in, we started with digital. So again, we didn't have ourselves any experience around it. But once we start
Hmm,
spending and we start understanding, then
hmm,
problems for ourselves started arising, right? How do we
hmm,
use this data? How
hmm,
can we optimize it more, right?
hmm,
Even today, anybody paying a small ad agency, say 20 to 50,000, I ended up burning even a
hmm,
lakh a month, paying a good digital marketing agency.
hmm,
Oh, they were doing nothing, right?
hmm,
It's all previous keyword, some research, right?
hmm,
They would go put that up and let the algorithm optimize,
hmm.
right? So it is all about the algorithms.
Yes.
It has always been about them
Hmm.
and it will always be about them. So that's how. So
And they will also tell you that, algorithm takes around 4 to 5 months to learn.
So we have built zero start models, right?
Yeah.
So it takes 4 to 5. Yeah, so that is Google, right? So at least a month spent they require to
Yeah.
start driving you the real result.
Hmm.
They do take time. So it is all again about conversions coming to the
Yes.
algorithm, right?
Hmm. And also they focus a lot on a lot of vanity metrics as well, like Tarun, like impressions ho gaya, clicks ho gaye. But in your case, it's the revenue which is the North Star metric. So, that is
See, yeah. So see, people are driving out. So now, if you talk about marketing, there are
hmm,
top, mid, bottom funnels, right? That's how
yeah.
they speak. This is our top funnel spend, this is our middle
Mm,
funnel spend, or this is our bottom funnel spend.
mm,
How they're driving it is on like how many people have seen, how many are engaging, how many are coming back. Obviously, everything is going to Google Analytics for them. They are, also losing about 20 to 30% of their real events, I would say, on
mm,
their website or their mobile app using those tools for free, right? It's
mm,
not always 100%.
mm,
So we went down, we did it, we understood, right?
mm.
Those vanity metrics, what you see on Google Analytics, also are
Yes.
not trustable,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So that's
Yes.
where we also ended up building our own CDP layer, right? Again, from scratch,
Mm,
collecting all the events in real time. We saw such a change in the numbers, right? If
yes.
analytics is showing me around 300 to 400 visitors, it was actually around 700 to 800
Mm,
actual visitors, right? Which were being skipped. So those metrics are very important for even algorithms to understand, right? That what the real core result they are driving.
yes.
If they are getting less number in value, so automatically they increase your spend, right? So that's where people start losing money.
Right. That, yes.
Yeah, so वो बहुत जरूरी है कि the data foundation layer today in AI's age
Uh,
needs to be correct, right? So
mm,
AI is only as it is stateless intelligence, right?
mm,
So it is a machine which has been given all the intelligence in the world. It
mm,
only becomes stateful with a prompt, right? And it is only as intelligent as the data we are able to feed it.
mm.
That's how we are operating, right?
Why raising capital now, Tarun? Like you've already been doing pretty well.
See, we are raising capital now for scale, right? It is basically right. We have a validated idea out there.
Yeah.
We have a validated product. Is just to accelerate a proven model, right? See, we wanted a product market fit, reoccurring revenue, profitability before
Mm,
inviting any institutional capital, right?
mm.
Now investors are funding scale, right? For us, they are not funding for experimentation, right?
Yes.
So that's the core reason, and it's acceleration, right? So how fast, how good people or how best human capital can be attracted.
Mm. And what changes after this round?
See, AI infrastructure requires
Yeah.
significant investment, right? International expansion requires local sales teams. Enterprise customers expect global support, right?
Yes.
Right. So we are no longer solving Teleforce works. We are solving how fast we can take it worldwide, right? So we also, already tried to solve our global partnership with Microsoft Marketplace,
Yeah.
right? Where we are able to sell our product through Microsoft globally.
Mm, got it. And in case this round doesn't happen, will Teleforce still has the potential to become a very big company?
Absolutely, right? There's no doubt, right? But markets don't wait, right? Enterprise AI is becoming like one of the largest software opportunities of the
Mm,
decade, right? If you had heard about the www boom,
mm.
.com, you
Yes.
know, it is, I think we are at the same inflection point. Imagine what will happen after 10 years,
Mm,
right? So if the more earlier start, how much we are having already
mm,
as an integrated solution, it will only grow. There is no doubt around it. It is just how fast, right? We really want to grow, right? I feel the opportunity or the problem area is global. It
mm.
is not just India, right? There are organizations, or we talk about a new concept. These OpenAI, CEO is also talking
Mm.
about a single person $1 billion company,
Yes. Yes.
right? A platform like ours solves that journey for that.
Yes.
Right? That's what you're trying to do.
And we have talked about Salesforce, Joho, HubSpot. So why can't they just kind of copy what you're building?
They're legacy frameworks. That's what I said, right?
Mm,
So they are now trying to put AI on top of their stack.
Yeah.
Right. So it is not a core native part of their stack, right? So their stack is not built around AI,
Hmm.
but their stack is built with AI.
Yes.
Right. So it is CRM plus AI.
Hmm.
We are talking about AI being the core central engine. Now, AI agents everybody can build, right?
Hmm.
But optimizing for revenue, the algorithms, right? The whole sort of data flywheel, which
Hmm.
we are talking about here, right?
Hmm.
Will take some time for them to digest, right? They would have been there already if they knew about it. Right?
Yeah.
I would
And
say Google and Facebook are the top guys who would be, able to get, or you end up seeing Anthropic buying Salesforce. you know, those companies, Microsoft has been building Microsoft Dynamic for a long time. They
yes.
have a good AI systems.
And I
India,
think Teleforce can be a good exit option for them as well.
you never know, right? So for us, whatever gives our shareholders or our employees, or our people, our journey, the best
Yes.
value in the day's end is what would matter, right?
Hmm.
An exit or an IPO, right? So yeah, we would see around it. We would see how the journey grows. We bootstrapped it till now. We would love some good institution to help us out at a global scale, right? So where, I feel there's a lot of business to happen, right?
Yes.
People are at the top currently also unaware
Hmm.
how AI could change their business today, right? A lot of CEOs I've spoken to, right, today are very, you know,
Hmm.
they know about voice agents,
Hmm.
they know about chatbots, right? But they would not know how a brain could be put into work on their data foundation, completely re-engineering their revenue streams or operations.
Yes. Yes. I think you've already answered this question, which I was going to ask, that people know about voice agents, chatbots, but they miss this link.
Yeah,
Uh,
so yeah.
Now we have a rapid fire with you, Tarun. We're going to ask you very succinct questions. The first one is biggest lesson from bootstrapping.
Revenue is the biggest form of validation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This should go out to all the founders in India.
Yeah, so revenue is
One startup myth that you don't believe in.
growth at any cost, right?
Yes.
Profitable growth creates, I feel, stronger companies, right? It
Mm.
gives you a good foundation to take the right decisions, right? You're more engineered to save resources, which, with sort of, out any cost growth, you would be ending up doing all the things.
Yes. One enterprise customer who changed your thinking.
Yeah, so the first customer who trusted us to run a mission critical operation, I don't know, if under NDA is it allowed to name or not, but yeah, so it taught us, reliability is often bigger competitive advantage than
Mm.
flashy features, right? So if you are having more reliable systems, is what actually people would endure you for, right?
Mm.
So once you're building a reliable stack, is what matters.
Yes. IPO or acquisition.
We are building an enduring company, right? The structure will follow what creates the greatest long term value for customers, right? Employees and shareholders,
And
right?
what kind
So,
of investors do you want to be on the cap table?
somebody who understands and helps us, be a category leader,
Hmm.
right? Right. Instead of, you know, partner who understands deep technology,
Hmm.
right? Things in decades instead of a quarter,
Hmm.
and helps us build a global category leadership.
What does your father tell about this business?
My father doesn't understand it. That's been my biggest mission critical problem, bro. Like if I would go and explain him, right, what I'm doing today, right? So it's very difficult for him to understand, right, what we are actually doing. So I've tried to have a conversation around it, but he has to pass me.
मुझे याद आ गया तुरंत, पता है जब मैंने 2012 में करियर चालू किया था तो मेरे पापा ने बोला था पोस्ट ऑफिस में एनपीएस खुलवा लेना.
Similar problems, bro. You ask me, like, what happened. I was just talking about how we are building what. नहीं नहीं नहीं, तू कर रहा है, बढ़िया कर रहा है. तू कर ही जा. Yeah, that's what you get. It's not
Yeah.
their fault. At
And
that
then
time, the information was pretty tight, right? The
yes.
the global information landscape wasn't there.
Hmm.
Our time we were born with Google. I think it changes our anxiety, or sorry, our understanding levels, because we had a place to ask questions at.
Yeah.
Right, their time they could not. Even
Hmm.
if they asked their teachers would scale them. Right. So the things have changed. I feel the next generation also has pretty much more.
Hmm.
If you can imagine, you guys were born with mobile phones.
Yeah.
Right, our generation. I'm now
Yeah.
38. So
No,
when I
same.
was about, I think 7, 8 years old, we were given pagers first, then
Yes.
mobile phones. Then the whole technology started building around it. So
Yeah.
Airtel, for a fact, is also from Ludhiana. Bharti
Yes. Yes.
Mittal,
Yes. Bharti
right?
Mittal.
So we used to go to there. They used to have their factory was right behind us. We were very close. We were neighbors in terms of
Hmm.
having the industry. So few families, and today you look at them. They took the technological leap, right? So they are in one of the biggest telecom players in the industry now. If you hear an interview, data
Hmm.
centers is going to be the next big area of development, and cloud, right?
Yes.
That's where AI resides. That's where systems would run.
Correct.
Similar, revenue operations is going to be the next big endeavor. How the categories would change for
Hmm.
system of records, right? How we are able to address
Hmm.
or understand our core audiences is very important, right?
Yes.
How we are able to target, speak to them in their way where they engage and come back, and they trust you. So
Huh.
the system build loyalty with your customers, right? Every owner of any business
Hmm.
wants the best for their customers from their brand, right? Or want the best for their brand as a position in their customer's mind.
Hmm.
But now, till now, there were a lot of human gaps, right? Where there are a lot of core dependencies based out of human teams, right? A
Yes.
lot of things we are wanting to do as a management level, we are able to, see reports,
Yeah.
right? As a decision maker, we are only able to decide on reports which are coming to us, but there are no logical systems to actually understand, what is happening behind the scene. So with a stack like us, we help those decision makers understand each
Yes.
value or each component of that report,
Hmm.
right? And then the decisions are taken with the numbers and maths behind it. It's not just some numbers said on TV, or it's
Yes.
all about science. It's all about numbers, I would say.
Hmm. And especially coming from a founder who has done real estate business, you have a remarkable understanding of customers. That is for sure.
You need to so you have a wide so I was blessed to have a wide industry experience, right?
Yeah.
So I would say thanks to God, to put me
Yeah.
to
Hmm.
all those levels so that I was able to conceptualize a product
Hmm.
like Teleforce, right?
Yes.
Because of selling in either a restricted industry, or selling maybe a farmer-led product, right, where you're totally dependent on farmers or produce,
Hmm.
to paper like a quantum selling product as well. distribution channels. We saw different pain points from B2B to B2C, right? How we were evolving, feedback loops they were missing, right? People, what they told us is what we would understand. There were no technology stacks even, at that time to fulfill our requirements, right? Or they were very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So we ended up building something which, organizations are able to keep at certain levels. We build with them, we grow with them, right?
Yes.
And we obviously take a part of your revenue once we start really
Yes.
optimize deliverables for our customers.
Nice. So it's a revenue sharing model as well. Nice.
Yeah, we have done it. So where there are people, who are not able to commit certain value to us, then we are able to go in with a revenue share logic where let us
Yeah.
do it for you,
Yes.
right? Whatever additional comes, if
Mm.
you're willing to commit, it makes them easy to switch,
Yes.
right? So it would make them uh give us a try, right? A POC would be on the table,
Yes.
right? Please do it. Till the time I'm not giving us, any extra money, and I'm telling them, or for $1, I'm able to get you 5 if you're making 3,
Yes.
right? So today's saying and doing is a different subject altogether.
Right. Yes. Now the last one, Tarun, is that if we are sitting here, or like I would love to meet you in Delhi as well. 5 years from now, what headline do you hope people are reading about Teleforce?
5 years from now, I would see, Teleforce become the revenue operating powering system, powering enterprise growth, across the world. Not
Hmm.
because we built another software company,
Hmm.
because we fundamentally change how business make decisions. Right? Our
Yes.
vision is simple. Every customer interaction should make the next interaction smarter.
Hmm.
Right? When every event becomes intelligence,
Hmm.
I feel every decision becomes autonomous. Right?
Hmm.
Enterprise stop managing software, they start managing growth. Right?
Yes.
That's the future I feel we are trying to build. That's where we would see us in 5 years ourselves as well.
Yes. I was also thinking that is that through this platform, through this software, all these growth departments in the companies like marketing, sales, and all these people will work in unison.
I have, so this is the biggest pain point I felt myself, right? Um, when I see my marketing team, right, delivering right sort of result, my
Uh,
sales team is always abusing them,
yeah.
right? Or if my sales team is delivering a result, I see my marketing team, coming up for credit, right?
Yes.
So there has always been a desync between the two departments. I
Yes.
feel a sync between the two departments is what we try to solve,
Hmm.
right? Where it needs to go hand in hand. A real time, add to context of a call, right? See the ad creative the call came in with, or a lead came in with, is the conversation around the same context, what we are showing or advertising to the customer is
Hmm.
really what drives even your real time optimization, right? So that's the data we are able to then further optimize, right? If you
Yes.
want to create a generative creative now, right?
Hmm.
So if you see all advertisement works for videos, creatives is already automated,
Yes.
right? So you are able to fill out certain copies, persuasion tactics on a creative or a video
Hmm.
over a prompt, right? Models like Nano Banana are, solving that in a big way. Even OpenAI's models are pretty decent. We ourselves want to have certain diffusion models set up in the near future. That's
Hmm.
why we are wanting to raise. See, this AI is not cheap, right?
Yes.
Research with the right sort of GPU infrastructure and with the right engineering team. So we went out and got people from IIT Delhi, right,
Yes. Hmm.
working with us.
Hmm.
We picked out experts in various sort of sectors, right?
Hmm.
I had one person working on fMRI project,
Yes.
right? Understanding a response to stimuli model, right?
Hmm.
How it would be, attracted to understand what videos I'm putting out, right? What sort of core brain activation regions we are looking at. Then you have a team from, RL side where maths needs to be very strong, right? What sort of micro decisions also you are able to give an algorithm as a win also matters, right? So we took that process, we understood those steps. Then we have, voice, obviously one of the greatest technologies today. How you can be more humanistic, the biggest problem of the industry. Right? Indian languages gives, if you solve India, you solve the world automatically.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So we tried to solve that. And yeah, we've reached a certain point of inflection already. We did 5 crores last year. We are on our way to do about 12 to 15 crores already this year.
Yes.
Right. So our order books are tight. Right. So it's just that we are working, looking to get the right sort of human cap on the table, right?
Yeah.
For us as a company, today's date, the right people join you when they hear about the good news, right?
Yes.
That it is a funded company, it is a growth oriented company, global company. I would just want to get a good understanding for the right sort of people, landscape, plus global growth, right? We are already selling in Malaysia now, right?
Yeah.
We onboarded one of our first system integrator partners, who's going to be, selling for us in Malaysian market.
Yeah.
We sold in Dubai already, right? Sitting in India. So we didn't have to do any efforts. I'm not even marketing those countries. People came in, right? So once they see what we do,
Yeah.
they do come in. So we had one of this top private equity companies also sending us out an email, this K2 Ventures, right? I think their starting size or their first level of equity is very high. So it didn't suit us, right? So they wanted to put in what, say, certain amount of money. They start at what, 4 million funding. So,
Yeah.
we are not looking at that level where we want to be acqui-hired, right? So we're looking at a person who builds with us, right? Certain experience where we can get at the right sort of investor level is also a partner we're looking to have where we miss out on the global experience front, right? What should be the teams structured in terms of right people working in those markets, right?
Yeah.
Who have been there, done that. Because our side, our product is our hero, right?
Yes.
So that's what we are banking on more.
Thank you so much, Tarun, for sharing all these, insights with us. And
Awesome.
pleasure conversing with you, Tarun. Like, we kind of covered right from your journey to Teleforce to what does it solve and what is the future goal look like.
Awesome.
Look forward to interacting with you again. Thanks so much.
Pleasure, Rishikesh. Thanks. Likewise. Bye.